So what I found challenging with our first episode was the technical part of it. Was if like a speaker was actually talking and someone else wanted to just, you know, add a few words or something, when they do that and they are not muted, it would create a double sound, like a background sound. We actually had our second episode on Teams. Imagine on Teams, and it worked. Okay, we had our speaker there were no technical issues. The only thing that was a challenge was to edit the video afterwards and posting it on YouTube. It took so much time, not knowing which software to use to edit and cut out whatever that was not necessary. I had a problem with like the timing of our episodes and the two speakers. We set 5 interviews, but the speakers, like the questions that we asked, encouraged the speakers. It was good, but the speakers went on and they spoke over the actual set amount of time.
One of the biggest challenges in this process of recording would definitely have to be the unpredictability of things. Just like this chair just decides to tilt while I'm recording. I'm not going to re-record. It is what it is. And that's the thing that I would definitely say helped to overcome the challenging process, to just be like, you know what, it is what it is. Let things flow authentically. Relinquish your need to want to maintain control of situations, because you can plan as much as you want. You can try and have an expectation of how you want things to go, but that's just not going to happen. I would definitely have to say I learned how going with the flow isn't always necessarily a bad thing. I definitely got some insight, and it actually benefited me as somebody who's trying to get ahead in life. You know, there are things to look out for, there are things that you need to know, and yeah, I definitely would have to say that I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot.
So what surprised me the most in doing our first episode was the reception that we got from our speakers. Because like we got these phenomenal women. I mean, one woman is a female DJ and she's so influential, but she was so receptive and so humble, and she was willing to, you know, allow herself to be hosted by beginners. So for me, that was quite surprising. And the way she opened up, the information she shared, and how much she appreciated our episode because of the type of questions we asked, you know, like that for me was quite surprising. I didn't expect that. And when someone else highlights that our concept is a lot of people are doing podcasts, but our concept is different because we ask the real questions. So we just needed real talk, and then we want to also create that awareness. So to see our vision being carried out by our speakers, like our guest speakers, that was really amazing.
To do a little bit more research on the different mediums or platforms, because we opted to use a certain platform to do our recordings, and it was just not user friendly at all, and it kind of put a damper on things because things got delayed because we had to wait, and there were certain rules and regulations that needed to be followed before we could proceed to the next step. So that really had me feeling anxious and frustrated.
We will limit our number of questions and make sure that they fit an hour. And next time we would also like to not book more than one speaker, because we realize that, you know, one speaker is enough. We don't have to get a lot of speakers, and just to leave our listeners with that one message to take home, instead of leaving our listeners being overwhelmed with all the different information and from different sectors or fields or, you know, areas of life, but for them to just take home that one message that will actually make a difference to their lives.